The fallen giants are back on their feet.
Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of the 1 to 11 Kits podcast with me and of course John, the ABFC geek. How are you, mate?
I'm good, very good this evening. Yourself?
Yeah, good. We've got a really exciting episode coming up for everyone. Today we've got two special guests. We've got Ian Taylor, Aston Villa legend midfielder, played for us for 8 years at the club. So this is going to be really, really exciting and quite funny as well. It was a really enjoyable interview. Did you like it?
Yeah, he's great. He's great. The time he's given for us for tonight was amazing, and he's got so many good stories. And he was really, really friendly, really enjoyable to have a chat with. It's crazy just to have sat and talked with him. It was mad, but really enjoyable.
Yes, it was great. So here's the rest of the episode.
Enjoy. So welcome everybody. As you can see, it's more than just me and Shaun talking at you today. We're joined by two very special guests. One a bit more special than the other.
Where's the other one then?
We have Sam Bardell from the Villa View and the Athletic, and we have Ian Taylor of Aston Villa fame. So welcome. Thank you both for coming on to speak about kits with us.
Good evening.
No worries. And we're going to go through Ian's shirts through Aston Villa and then have a look at what Ian thinks possibly of this year's shirts and if as a footballer you even care about the shirt, there's the actual look of the shirt, or whether you just get given the one you're given and put it on and go and play football. So if we jump straight in, so we don't take up too much of people's time, you joined Aston Villa in January for £1 million plus Guy Whittingham, and you would have started in this shirt. Okay, so this would have been the first shirt that you wore for Villa. Randomly, this is Guy Whittingham's actual shirt, so he wasn't part of the deal, but he was transferred out. So this is
he had to leave his shirt behind, did he?
He left in the dressing room, and obviously this was also worn for the cup final of '94 where we won it in. So this was your first shirt you played in for Villa. So what are your thoughts about the shirt? And obviously, I'm guessing some special memories as your first one.
Yeah, because basically, it was the first shirt I wore, and I scored my first goal in it. So, that obviously has a special memory. But the very first shirt I wore was the black, red, and green away at Arsenal. You got that one? Yeah. That's the very first shirt that I wore away at Arsenal. And we drew 0-0. So, very special memories, both shirts, to be fair. But obviously the claret and blue one, because that was the one that I scored in on my home debut. And number 17.
Yeah, I remember that. Do you even care that, because sometimes Villa fans, they complain when the shirt's not traditional, so you haven't got the blue sleeves and a claret shirt. But do you, because you're obviously a Villa fan as well, do you care about that, or do you just like it because it's different?
Yeah, I'm not that finicky about colours and badges and stuff, really. But at the time, it was just a pleasure to just put the claret and blue on. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter what it looked like, to be honest. Even the black, red, and green one, that was an acquired taste. But it was just amazing just to put it on for the first time.
Because there's a lot of fans that like the green and black one because it's so far out from being any sort of traditional Villa shirt. Obviously, scoring your first goal in it must have making a debut, and it must have some sort of special memories with it.
Yeah, it is. It's strange, really, because as a player, you're not that bothered really about the kits. You just put them on. But it's only now, afterwards, as a fan, you have judgment on kits. So it's weird, really.
Before you joined Aston Villa, before you became a professional footballer, did you have kits when you were growing up? Were you interested in football kits growing up?
Do you know? I think the only kit I had, Villa kit, was the one, the European Cup one. I had the home and away that season. Yeah, that one. That's the one. For me, that's the best ever Villa top.
Yeah.
Best ever shirt, yeah.
Is that because of it or because of the style?
Just because of the style and the simplicity, really. But I obviously like the other one, the home kit as well. That was a good kit as well. Have you got that one?
They've got every shirt. They've got every shirt. That's a joke.
And the old badge as well. So do you prefer the badge that you didn't get to play in, or do you like the one that you sort of played in the 90s and the one that we got now?
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes the round badge, don't they?
Yeah.
But like I said, it didn't really bother me when I was playing at all. So, yeah, I wasn't fussed really.
Bigger things to think about the actual match and game itself than what colours you're wearing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of excitement and anticipation to see what the new kit was going to be like, and to see if you were one of the players that were picked to be in the launch of it.
How is that selected? Is that just something that people offer for it, or does the manager say, or the people say, look, you're up for it this season? Do you get to pick?
It's usually the guys in marketing. They pick the best players and the most marketable. You know, obviously now it would be Jack Grealish when he definitely be in the kit launch. But yeah, I had my odd occasions when I was picked to do it, so I was happy with that.
Well, I think we did really well this season. Is obviously we got all our teams to model the kits this season. So you saw the women's team, the like disability teams, and all them that were modelling our kits, which I thought was really good from Aston Villa. Yeah. It's not something that all the clubs are doing. So we need to give a pat on the back for ourselves for that.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, the women's game's getting bigger and bigger, isn't it? And it's just it's a no-brainer to have it all together. So you know, people are buying kits. I mean, I saw today about Man United. The ladies' kit was getting sold more than the men's. So yeah, they've had 2 new players and they've outsold the men's, which is amazing, really.
That is good.
That is amazing.
Good. So I'm going to move you on to a shirt that must have some amazing memories for you as well. So 95. This was 2 seasons. This was back in the way when kits used to last more than 1 season. So the one previous, the green and black, was spanned for 2 seasons, and this one, along with this one, for 2 seasons. But obviously, this was the League Cup final. This is the scoring the goal in the League Cup final, and that must be just for a Villa fan to get to Wembley to put on a Villa shirt, to walk out, to win, and to score. I mean, could it have gone any better? Really?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was good. I didn't really like that kit though. The collars were always all over the place.
They do curl, don't they? They do curl up.
Yeah, but no, like you say, it does hold fond memories. And funny enough, I don't think we didn't have names on the back of those in the final either.
No, it was just 1 to 11. It was 1 to 11.
Yeah, which was strange.
I can't believe you've remembered that.
Yeah, because I always, that shot after I score and I'm running off, it's just got 7 on the back.
Oh yeah.
and it's not got my name on the back. So yeah, it's strange, but fond memories.
Did you ask for the number 7?
Sorry?
Did you ask for the number 7, or how does that work? Changing numbers?
I can't remember. I don't think I asked for it. I think I just ended up with it.
Yeah, you just get given a number.
Yeah,
did you then ask to keep 7 when you went to Derby because you liked it at Villa after that? So you'd had 7 at Villa. Did you then ask to be 7 at Derby?
I think it was one of those where they just said, "Is number 7 okay for you?" And I said, "Yeah, of course it is."
Yeah.
So it just happened to be available, I think.
Because another thing, again, that players probably don't care, and most people don't care about, but me and Shaun and Dan, to some extent, are real kit nerds. It was the last year where they didn't have uniform lettering at the back, so you had the crazy font for there and the home one. So not having the name on the back was odd, because throughout the season you did, and it was the only season actually where the last season where fonts on the back weren't uniform. Again, something the players probably don't care about, but a sort of sad shirt nerds
I've just learned something.
But it was just, I remember the 96. I'm a bit older than everybody here, remembering that, and it was just a day of dreams. We talked about it. Me and Shaun talked about it. My whole family were around, and just felt comfortable. I know Sabo at that point had been getting quite a lot of negative stick from a lot of people. And then 18, 20 minutes in, rifles one into the top corner to silence pretty much anybody who ever doubted him.
Yeah, and it's still one of the best goals that we've had in a final ever, isn't it? Really. So, yeah, he was an acquired taste with fans, but he did shut them up. It's a bit sad the way he left and everything, but Yeah, he's gone down in Villa folklore, hasn't he?
Yeah, because I mean, York and Milosevic is a hell of a strike sort of partnership going. It's just sort of really potent, isn't it? Really, I mean, you saw what York goes on to do. Milosevic, maybe if he'd stayed a bit longer, would have kept going up with his numbers.
Yeah, well, it's good being with Brian Little now and being around him and talking to him about those things and what he liked to do as a manager, because he now says that he wanted a left footer and a right footed striker playing together. And it's only when and I thought, oh right, yeah, because obviously you get a good balance there. And I never thought about that at the time. And it's only now that he's told me that I thought, oh, not a bad manager, that Brian Little, is he? Really?
No, he was good. He was pretty good, Brian.
What was it like after the final? How much do you remember?
None. Absolutely nothing. Now, to be fair, I think I just remotely remember some of us trying to play a piano in the foyer at the hotel, and that's all I can remember. I can't remember anything else. It's a complete blur, lads. I'm sorry.
I've got also from that season the sticker book, and it's got you in there.
Right.
How are these taken? Are these just taken in the stadium on the pitch?
Yeah, they're we have the team photos, and then you literally have to all line up on one knee. Everybody gets down on one knee, arms folded, and the cameraman just goes along, taking an individual photo of everybody. That's how it was done then. I'm not sure how it's done now, but that's how we did it then.
And those sorts of things, are they just really boring? Are they just stuff you accept to the player? Do you ever sort of care about them? It's just something you've got to get done. It's just those bits of your job that.
Well, I think everybody cared about how they looked. But yeah, they were a little bit boring, but you knew that you had to do it. So it was all part and parcel of, beginning of the season. And it's days that you look forward to be fair, because they're always a good laugh. And, everybody tried to make each other laugh on the team photo, which was good. So
you probably got to see each other afterwards and take the mick out of each other when you saw each other's stickers or pictures on the pitch and stuff like that. Yeah.
And it was always funny seeing who was the one who had to sit next to the manager as well, because that was always seen as the manager's pet.
No,
Did you never sit there?
No,
never by the manager.
I refused.
I bet Gareth Southgate was there.
Yeah.
He would have been there.
To be fair, it was usually the captain that had to sit next to the manager. So.
Because there was some good sort of English players. I know you had sort of Southgate and Hugo and that sort of team. Who would have been your favourite midfielder that you played with that season in that sort of '96? Because there's Townsend in there, and
it's got to be Drapes. It's got to be Drapes, because he was a lot better player than people gave him credit for, and I think he was just one of my mates in the team as well. We got on really, really well, and we had a great laugh. And but he was a good player. I think if it wasn't for his injuries, he'd have got along a lot further. So it's a shame.
I know you said in the past that you were box to box, Ian. You said now the modern game, it's a little bit more simpler because they're divided into sort of defensive midfielders or attacking midfielders and got more specific roles. Where do you think you'd play in the modern game? Do you think you'd be a tackling defensive midfielder, or where do you think a manager would put you?
I think in our system. What did he say then?
He's on the bench.
Hold on a minute. No, I think in our system, I'd definitely be either, because I could play either side, right, or one of the right or left midfielders. So, I played in that system anyway under Brian, but we just played three at the back, 2 wing backs, and then 3 in midfield anyway. So, it wouldn't have been much different for me.
I remember you playing wing back once, right wing back.
That's because I could fill in anywhere, mate.
Yeah, versatile.
Anywhere. I played left-sided centre back. I played right wing back, midfield. Port Vale, I played up front. So,
did you?
Yeah.
Top goal scorer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I played up front on occasion, but yeah, mostly midfield. But I could play up front as well.
So we move on to the 98 season, which was this shirt and probably one of my favourite Villa shirts that we ever had. For some reason, this was one of my all-time favourites. We started off Villa with this. We have done actually some research for a change. We started off with four defeats on the bounce, but then in the final 11 games, won nine out of the final 11 with a couple of these sort of defeats spread in. But I think from this season, for me as a fan, still holds up there. One of the best games I've ever been to at Villa Park for atmosphere was the Atletico Madrid Stan Collymore goal that you scored. You scored the first goal of that at home. And then I saw you tweet about it not long ago about actually how amazing the atmosphere was. I can't remember many atmospheres like that when you put that in the corner. What are your memories of it? Obviously, I haven't got that. I think Shaun might have, because we played in it again from a nerdy point of view. We played in a one-off shirt, so I'm not sure if you realise that, but the game that one was a one-off shirt. So for shirt collectors, it's quite a rare one. It's one of the few I actually don't have.
Was it one-off? Was it?
Yeah, it was a one-off shirt. The lettering.
I know it was a rare occasion where we wore an away kit at home.
Yeah.
So, and it was all white as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like you say, I just remember the noise was the loudest I've heard at Villa Park when that went in the top corner, because we were back in the game, and it was a hell of a goal as well. It was what a strike. So, but we're going to the Holton celebrating, and then we realised we got to get back because we need another goal. But, yeah, it was a good time, because playing in Europe was just something else. Some great European nights, and because all those games were of an evening as well. Yeah. And as you know, night games at Villa Park are just something else.
Yeah, I remember I was allowed to stay up late to go to that game, so I was about 11 or 12, and I remember my being taken there as a luxury going out on a school night. But it was still one of the best atmospheres in the back of the upper hole, and it was still a game that sits with me in the memory now.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those, even though we lost, people remember that game and that atmosphere for what it was. So, yeah, hell of a night.
The UEFA Cup was proper then, wasn't it? It was not like the Europa League now. It was like straight knockout, 2 legs. You had some really big teams in there. Like, if you were going to win that trophy, you had to be really, really good back then. And there was probably only 2 teams from each country in the Champions League then as well. So I missed the UEFA Cup.
Oh, I know. We had some great nights, and we travelled everywhere, and played, like you say, against some really good teams as well. So, and we gave a good account of ourselves as well. So, it's something that I do remember well, and we had some great nights. The Bilbao nights were good as well when we played Bilbao at home.
Yeah,
Stade Bucharest at home was brilliant as well. I had a good night out after that one as well.
There's a bit of a theme here.
Sorry?
There's a bit of a theme starting here.
Well, I got this one over here. This one's from the Celta Vigo game.
Okay, yeah.
This is a Julian shirt that he scored in. Yeah, he scored in that game, and that's the shirt that he wore in that night. Found that in a bar in Celta Vigo. Swapped it with another collector, yeah, and they brought it back here. Crazy.
They're good, aren't they, Dan?
Yeah, they've got some good stuff in their collection. To be fair, they're professional shirt collectors.
Yeah, so that Atletico Madrid one was a one-off shirt. We the only game it was worn for. So again, they're sort of really, really hard ones to get.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you think that was your best season as a Villa player? Because I always remember that one as being your best season. I think you scored like 9 goals.
For goal return, I think. Yeah. I can't remember. I can't remember if I got player of the season or not. I can't remember. But I
can't think who would have done instead.
Research tells me it was the second highest scoring season that you had for Villa.
Oh, second?
Yeah.
Was it?
1999-2000 was the best. 10 goals in all comp was 1999-2000.
Oh, all right.
Double figures.
So I didn't know that either. Okay. But yeah.
What's the next one, John?
So the next one is the one that you had. So this is where I'm going to bring Dan in as well. So Dan, 98, 99 the kits were this one here.
Yeah.
With again Collymore on the back. Again, he didn't quite hit off for him, did he, Collymore? Which is a shame. He could have been. And this one.
I like that one.
The fact for you, Dan, on this one is, according to my research, there was only 2 non-UK based players who played for Villa. So the first question to Ian is, do you know the 2, or do you know any of the 2 that were non-UK based? And Dan, can you tell me the squad number of one of them? So I'm going to ask Ian. There were 2 players that were non-UK in the entire squad, and I'm going to ask Dan the squad number of one of them.
I reckon I know the 2 players are.
I have got no clue.
You know one.
What was a goal?
Goal. Oh no, that's wrong. He's turning around trying to give a clue, and he's giving bad clues. Wrong season.
Sorry. I didn't see that then.
Yeah.
You don't need it's wrong anyway. You don't want to see it. The one's a goalkeeper.
Who's the goalkeeper?
Penalty hero.
You know the goalkeeper.
Oh, I can't remember.
You do. No, I'm not telling him. He should know that.
Bosnich.
Was he still there then?
Yeah, it's his last season.
And the other one is
gone by then.
Fabio Ferrarese. And
yeah.
So Dan, what was his squad number?
18.
He was 18. He was 18.
Easy.
Yeah, proper swat.
I'm trying to make them as hard as I can. But yeah, according to the research, there was only 2 that were non-UK. I mean, guessing that was a new fact to you. But did it feel any different? Does memory of it being sort of
Yeah, John Gregory was manager then, wasn't he?
Yeah,
because he just liked the whole sort of English feel about the team. He just knew what he was going to get for English or British players. Do you know what I mean? So, and he just liked hard-working teams and hard-working players, and because he just knew what he was going to get from them.
Yeah.
And I think there was one stage where we did start with an all-English team, didn't we? And and we did quite well.
Well, yeah,
that was when we got after a flyer. We got after a flyer, didn't we? That was when you had that photo on the pitch at Southampton.
And that killed us.
Yeah.
Because we had
14
games top of the table, 14 consecutive games. We were first through it, and then finished sixth.
That's mad.
End of the season, but yeah. But I was impressed with that, Dan. That squad number. Hopefully, they're going to get harder. I'm trying to test Dan. Keep you on your toes as well.
When I was a kid, like obviously Villa have hurt me a number of times since then, but I was like convinced we were going to win the league that season just by that start because I'd never seen anything like it for a start.
Yeah, we were on fire. And like I say, it was Southampton away, wasn't it, when we had that photo?
Yeah.
And so it's all John Gregory's fault because it was his idea.
I've spoken to him about that. He regrets it. I think he regrets it.
I bet he does. No, we were on fire, and I think Dion was scoring for fun. I think.
Yeah.
At that time, and what a great signing he was as well. But we're still good mates now, and he's a proper centre forward. Do you know what I mean? And going where it hurts, he'd hold the ball up for us, he'd win all his headers, and he's a really good finisher as well.
I saw him playing one of the charities. Well, I was there when he was playing in like one of the Villa kit launches a few seasons ago, and he just would not. He was so competitive, wouldn't let anybody pat. Like there was a load of fans who would win a competition to turn up, and he was absolutely bullying them all over the place on the game.
And he was slightly bigger as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a bit, but he was bullying. He was absolutely pressurising people.
Yeah. He's put a few quid on since he's finished. I know that.
The best thing about him for me was on a Football Manager. You could put him as centre back as a cover. Yeah, he was always covering as a centre back for his heading.
He was full back at centre back and wasn't he?
Yeah.
Move on. Run anymore, mate.
Yeah. The 99-2000, which was this one.
Oh, I've got this one.
I love this one.
Which, again, you signed for me, so thank you for that one. This is you signed with on the back. So
mine's signed as well.
I don't have one signed.
Left out.
I
Listen
don't know
out,
what question
yeah.
I'm going to be asked next then.
What you're supposed to.
Well, the Claret and Blue one just reminds me of the cup final, 2000 cup final, of the semi-final, with the penalties, because the semi-final, it was bad memories for me, because the semi-final I did my hamstring after about 20 minutes, and had to watch all the penalties.
Yeah,
and
nervous.
And there's a great, that picture where they're all together, all the lads are together, and Dion puts the penalty in, and they're all about to run off to congratulate Dion, and I'm not on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a bad memory. And then we got to the FA Cup final and had a stinker. So it was not great.
What do you think it was in the cup final? Was it just one of those games? Was it the tactics? Was Chelsea just better? Or was it just one of those games where it didn't work out?
It's just one of those games, I think. I think we were every bit good as Chelsea, but just didn't perform. I don't know what. You can't put your finger on why at all. But I don't know whether it was nerves or what, because it's probably the biggest game that a lot of us had played in. I don't know.
We were playing with 10 men though, weren't we? Because you were injured.
What, in
the cup final? You weren't fully fit, were you, in the cup final? So it's like playing with 10 men.
Yeah, actually, because I had to fight back from injury, didn't I?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Because I remember as well, because I'd been injured. John Gregory had to make the decision whether I played or Alan Thompson played, and he told Alan Thompson the night before that he wasn't going to be playing. Alan Thompson smashed up his hotel room in fury that he wasn't playing. And I felt really, really bad, because he'd been playing all the way up until the final, so in the league games anyway. But yeah, it just didn't happen. So
do you still look back with pride that we got to the final, or does it just feel like opportunity missed?
A bit of both, really. A bit of both.
Yeah.
I think you'd give your right arm to get to a FA Cup final now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Those things are taken quite lightly now, but at the time, it was one of the biggest games in the world. Do you know what I mean? So
build up to it,
and it's the build up and everything, and it was watched all over the world.
It was the last cup final.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
The last competitive game at the old Wembley, wasn't it?
Yeah. So a bit of a landmark, but it's just a shame we couldn't win it. Really, it's a crappy goal as well, and I gave away the free kick for the flipping goal as well.
It weren't a foul though. I watched this. I watched this in lockdown.
I tell you, I have I've got a bad memory, but I remember things like that.
It weren't a foul. It was a terrible decision.
No,
I didn't realise until recently how bad that was. It wasn't a foul.
No. But he gave it, and then J-Mo bloody drops the cross, and then
it was an annoying goal. I remember watching it, just thinking, at least concede a good goal. If you're going to concede, at least make it worthwhile and not just
exactly
like that.
Exactly.
So Dan, this is a slightly easier question.
Yeah.
Who was 24 that year?
Delina.
Yeah, again, spot on. Well done.
You said these were hard. You said they were hard.
I'm hoping even I'd have got that one.
Really?
Easy one would have been hard.
Nah.
So we went into 2000 and 2001, which for me are a bit nothing-y kit-wise. There was three. I'm not the biggest fan of these ones. So there was this one. There was this one.
Oh.
And there was this one. So of the three, would you pick? Would it just always be the claret and blue, or would you have the white or the black one as a favourite that you would have? Which would you go for? The claret, blue, black, or the white if you're going to pick a favourite from that season?
It'd be one of the two away ones.
Yeah, they're not great, are they? We went from having really nice Reebok kits to Theodora, and they just weren't the same.
Yeah, I didn't like the home kit, but I like the black one.
The claret and blue trim is quite nice on the sleeves and on the collar. It's quite nice. Which would yours be, Dan? What would you pick?
Probably the black one. I quite like a black shirt.
But the
Sure,
white
season's black one's
the
nice.
white one's very rare. I don't even think we wore that. I'm not sure.
I think you might have worn it in the Intertoto.
In Toto,
Possibly.
yeah, I was just about to say things. Yeah.
Right.
That prestigious tournament.
Yeah. But it's a nice shirt, to be fair.
I'm guessing you didn't keep yours.
Do you know, I've not got any shirts. And,
You got one behind you.
One of the things I regret is not keeping some of my shirts.
What happens with them? Like at that point,
Charity and stuff.
you
Charities,
just new ones?
charities, yeah. I think you do have the option of sort of saying, "Can I keep one of my shirts?" But I was just that flippant about it. It's just like I just forgot about them. Didn't have any thoughts about keeping any of my shirts really, and just let them go.
Did you ever swap any?
Yeah,
You got any other
I've got a few actually. I mean, I've got.
Yeah.
I think swap with Patrick Vieira. I've got one of his. Andy Cole. I've got one of his. But they're the only two I can remember swapping. I think I had a Janino one as well.
He was good.
But I don't know where they are.
Is that shirt behind you not one of your shirts?
That is the last shirt that I wore at Villa Park.
Yeah.
My last appearance at Villa Park.
Because that was a weird one as well, because they wore a different shirt all season. And then for the last home game, they wore that shirt. So obviously that was the shirt that they wore the next season that you wouldn't have worn because you'd gone to Derby.
Yeah.
It's a weird little thing.
But they always used to do that. They used to bring out the home shirt, the next season's shirt for the last game.
Chelsea are known for doing that. Chelsea are known for playing the last little game in their new shirt. But this shirt for me has got one memory to it. This one, the home one, has got one memory.
It reminds me of David Ginola.
That volley, and he ripped it off and goes running over to the manager, and that's the memory of it for me. Is that when he was called fat or something by the manager, a bit of weight on, scores an absolute rifle and ripped his shirt off.
And shows his ripped torso. Yeah. I tell you who else it reminds me of as well, though. Luke Nillis.
Yeah.
Do you know
What
what
a
I
goal.
mean? And, I know, unbelievable strike. And he was a really, really good player. Such a shame.
How was that for the dressing room? Or was it even? Did you even know at the time? Or did it take a while for the news to? How did it play out?
Do you know, I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
I think I was actually on the bench for that game.
Yeah, you didn't start the season in the team.
No.
You said to me before that when you were like Nillis was in training, you said that everyone was like, "Wow, how have we signed him?"
Yeah, because he was a fully fledged international. He's a world renowned player. Do you know what I mean? And we managed to sign him. And like you say, some of his touches and that, and it just showed with his first goal for us. You know, what a goal! It's that's something that I still remember now as well. The exact way that he did it and the strike into the top corner. It's a hell of a goal, hell of a first goal for your new club. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Shame.
Yours wasn't bad. Yours wasn't bad either. That header in '94 wasn't bad either.
It's tapping, wasn't it? No, it was nice. It was nice. Just nice to get the score sheet in your first games.
Yeah, first game. Yeah, it was his debut. Was it the Chelsea game?
Yeah, it was his debut. Yeah.
Yeah, my home debut. Yeah.
That was his Luke Nillis' debut.
Sorry?
I said that was Luke Nillis' debut was against Chelsea. I think that was his full debut.
Yeah.
So that's it as well. When I was looking into it, it said that was a season that Southgate left, and there was that sort of bit of a thing where he said, "I want to go on, move my career on to go to the next level," and then ends up at Middlesbrough. And a lot of the time, the Villa fans are thinking, "Well, that's not even close. It's not even a sideward step. That's clearly."
I know. There was one or two of those that happened around that time. that we didn't totally agree with, but I think it was one of those. I think some of the players just fell out with the manager and didn't really like the way the manager was going, and I'm not sure.
No,
but
you can't.
You wouldn't have left us for Middlesbrough, no way. Can't see the thinking behind that. Apart from money.
I'll play that year.
Sorry?
For Dan, Alpay, what was his squad number that season?
16.
This is ridiculous. Like, every time I'm gonna have to find some more that just.
Can we have a buzzer next time? Because you know what I mean.
Would you have got that one? Would you have got that one?
No.
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 I'm not going to go these buzzers if it's not going to be worth it.
It is. He's not. He told me these were going to be really difficult, so I was like, "Oh God."
Not for
you.
Not for Swatty Dan.
It's a weird thing that I've always liked. I don't know why. When I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with whose name I was getting on the back of my shirt and stuff, and what the number was going to change to and things like that. I used to be obsessed with it.
Yeah. I remember seeing Alpay. He had this massive American Escalade going through Sutton. It was one of the biggest cars I'd ever seen trying to get through this tight little corner. And he just had Alpay across the back as his like this absolute enormous Cadillac Escalade just driving through Sutton Cold. It was just stood out.
I can't remember him having that.
He was a nutter, though.
Oh yeah, he's a crazy Turk.
Absolute nutter.
So I just remember seeing players. It was like an absolutely crazy seeing players, just heroes. Just seeing them, and I remember seeing him get out of his car, just thinking this is crazy. But so we're going to move you on.
He's a good lad, though. He was funny. He was funny. He was great to have in the dressing room. But yeah, he was mad. And he's one of those. He'd always do something rash on the pitch. He's like always a tackle away of getting sent off. You know what I mean? So you had to calm him down all the time.
And so if we move on to 2001, which is this shirt, and the person on the back. So this shirt, I have two sort of big memories. This was you and Boateng was the big sort of midfield duo that I remember, and also this one, who makes a difference, and it was the sort of grey kit with the two from this season. So what was Merston like to play alongside or to play with?
Merce was like, he was a proper character in the dressing room, someone who came in and had been there and done it, and he just added something different that we hadn't got. He was just such a flair player. He was another one. Some of the things that he did in training were just unreal, and everything was with the outside of his right foot as well. And he could just put the ball on a sixpence. And me and Merce had a great understanding as well, because he liked the fact that I'd run on and get ahead of him, and he could try and pick me out. So, he set up quite a few goals for myself, and it was really, really good playing with him because we had such a good understanding.
I used to say that he. Oh, sorry.
Right. Does that just happen by chance? Does that just happen by chance, or do you work on that?
It just happens by chance. You just sometimes have connections with players, and like you said earlier about George Boateng, we just complemented each other in midfield, and we were similar types of players. Both liked to tackle. We could both get up and down, and we could both get a goal. So, we were just two typical John Gregory players as well. So you like to put us together in midfield.
I used to say that Merson and York were the two best attacking players that I'd seen play for Villa, but now I think like Jack is getting pretty close, or he's even above them, to be honest, the way he is now. Would you compare the two players, Jack and Merson, or do you think they're a little bit different? Oh
yeah, they're very different. Jack's a dribbler. He can go by people without them looking like they're even there. Do you know what I mean? So, and Merce wasn't particularly a dribbler or go past people, but he could run with the ball. But then he'd pick somebody out with an amazing pass. And Jack can do both. So, they're different kinds of players. And Jack's probably with a lot of players now, he's definitely more athletic than Merce, but Merce he was great on the ball, just really good on the ball.
So that was good. Then we lead in to your final season. These are the only things I don't have because they're currently away being numbered. So they're currently away being numbers put on the back of them.
Some excuse that is, isn't it?
So we went to, I got all the excuses. Well, you have to get them done now, getting all the post players on. So this should
have told me. I'd have brought mine downstairs with me.
We went to Rover and MG. So this was the Rover one. So I've got you the image. Not sure where we'll see this one, but this was the
Rover. One sec.
Oh yeah.
The MG.
Yeah, I've actually got that up on.
And the white MG.
It's in the corner of my picture up there, and it's got the picture of me at Leeds, saying bye.
That was a good
to
goal.
All the fans, to all the away fans at Leeds.
Because we get battered that day as well.
Yeah. It was a great send off.
Yeah, 3-0, wasn't it? Or 3-1.
I can't remember the score, Dan, but yeah, it was pouring down with rain, horrible day, and I found out the night before that I wasn't going to be given a new deal, and I was leaving. So it was a bit of a crap time, but yeah. So I decided to get that. Well, I didn't. My missus got that done for me and got the picture on and everything, and got all the lads to sign the shirt and everything, and got it in a frame, which was really nice. So it's there. It's probably the only bit of memorabilia I've got.
It's a good one to have.
From a kit nerd point.
Yeah, it's a really, really sad time, to be fair. But I think we played, was it Sunderland the week before at home, and I didn't really. And if I'd have known before that game that I wasn't going to be staying on, I'd have had a proper send off. But unfortunately, it was away at Ellen Road with a handful. Well, not handful, because there was. As usual, the away end was packed. But my send off was there, which was a bit unfortunate, really.
Did you know it was coming? Were you assuming another contract?
Yeah, because usually you don't go right until the end of your deal before people tell you that you're not staying on. But I had a sense because I was picking up a lot of injuries as well. I wasn't playing a lot. Graham Taylor was the manager at the time, and he actually said to me, every time I want to pick you, you've been injured. So, because when I was fit, I played under Graham Taylor. So, because he liked me and he wanted to play me, but just picked up too many injuries.
I think I probably cried when you left. Probably, I'm guessing.
I did, mate.
Did you?
I'm crying on that picture. But yeah, it was horrible because I didn't want to leave, but I knew that I had to. So, but it was one of those when I left Villa and went to Derby. I was just determined to be fitter and to go on for longer because I was 33 at that time, and I still wanted to play, and so I got a fitness trainer in who used to come around my house and used to do extra stuff after training and whatnot, and made sure I was a lot fitter. And I played every game at Derby when I went there, which was a bit frustrating. But yeah, I had a really, really, really good year. But then it turned out that my first game for Derby in a friendly was against Villa. and I scored the winner against us in a friendly, which was so mad. And I had both sets of fans singing my name after I scored, which was so weird. But it was nice at the same time.
Yeah.
So one bit of kit nerdy from that one again, just to be you a bit kit nerdy that again you probably have no idea about. So that last season, the season before had this one, and Sean's got the other one. They made a kit that was never worn, especially in case we got through. So that kit there with MG badge on, we never wore. It was made for a cup game that we didn't get to qualify for. It was going to be ready for Liverpool. So that kit there, again, just a bit of kit nerdiness. There's only the squad set of those kits because it was only made for the squad in case. It never released commercially. So there's only about 20 of those shirts that exist because they just basically slapped the MG badge on from the away shirt onto the previous season's away to make it a shirt. So
and you can have it right now for 25 quid.
Nah, you're all right, mate.
So finally for me, I really grateful for your time. I know there's the best stuff you could be doing than talking football shirts with nerds. I include Dan in that.
No, not included in that.
If you were to what do you have a favourite shirt that you would have played in, or is it based on the look of it, or would it have been actually just because of what you did on the pitch?
It would be when I wore it and what game I wore it, and your man's shirt there with the away shirt, that reminds me of West Ham away when in the League Cup when I scored 2, and what a night. That was probably when I was at my peak, and I just remember scoring those goals and just having no fear and just thinking you're on top of the world. You know what I mean? Because I was just at my peak, and so that reminds me of just such a great time. But obviously there's the one for the cup final as well. But that one there just reminds me of just such a good time of where I was at the time.
It's a great shirt.
Nearly in the England squad. Nearly.
Yeah.
Nearly. There was some competition though, Dan, to be fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
you only had David Beckham as number 7 to get past.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'd have took that shirt off him.
Before I let you go, not many people would be able to say they were at the Liverpool 2 Aston Villa 7 game. What was that like?
Do you know, it was very hard social distancing from people. You just wanted to run 20 yards and jump on somebody, but you couldn't. So you were celebrating on your own, which was weird. But you know, it was just so gut wrenching because you know what the atmosphere and the night would have been like if that place was full, and you just know it would have been full anyway because it was Liverpool. But the atmosphere would have been unreal, and it's just such a shame that everybody had to stay at home and watch it on TV. But the lads were superb, absolutely superb, and like the fitness levels and how hard they worked, it was just something else. And I said the other day in an interview, I just feel now that Dean Smith's getting to the place where he wants to be with his team and the way he wants them to play and the way he wants them to be. So, and the signing of Ross Barkley, I think, was just unreal. Because no one saw that coming, and I thought it was a fantastic signing. And, you know, hopefully, you know, it's the final-ish piece of a jigsaw. I still think there's a couple more places maybe that we need to fill, but we're getting there, which is what you want really after the years we've been through. To be making the steps that we are, I think it's another step to where we want to be.
What are your hopes? What are your sort of expectations or ambitions? Because you speak to a lot of fans and they're sort of, it could be really easy to get carried away and go like, that's it, we're now. But what do you think success would look like for Villa this season? What would you say success would be?
Well, I think just to make progress, really. I don't want to be in a relegation battle like we were last year, and I think progress would be not to be in a relegation battle and to be mid-table. But you know, like you say, I'm not getting carried away. I'm not going overboard. We've played 3 games, 2 against opposition that, you know, realistically Aston Villa should beat. But you know, results like the Liverpool one raises everybody's expectations, doesn't it? So for me, 10th, 11th would be great, be fantastic. And you know, it's a shame that we're out of 1 cup, but a nice run in the FA Cup would be nice as well.
Cool. Well, on behalf of me and Shaun, like we a real big thank you for coming on. talking through kits and just indulging our nerdiness for a good sort of 45 minutes. It's been a real pleasure to talk to one of my heroes. I was talking to Dan before you came on, and growing up as a Villa fan, an absolute hero of mine growing up, which I enjoyed watching you play, and it's been a real pleasure talking to you.
No, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Ian.
No need to
No
thank me,
worries.
lads. Just
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for coming. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. See you later.
See you later.
Thanks again to Dan from the Villa View. Make sure you go and check out the Villa View if you're not already subscribed. I know they've got some amazing new mugs out that I'll be buying, so check them out. Thanks, Dan, for setting this up, and thanks again to Ian for coming on and just being a real pleasure.
Please subscribe and like and all that stuff, and head to Twitter and Instagram and follow us both if you can. We really appreciate that. And if you fancy leaving in the comments what shirt season you would like us to go through next, that will be coming up very soon. So thank you for watching.